Hello, and thank you for tuning in to Spotlight on Education. I'm your host, Tina Duckett, Public Relations Director for the Troup County School System. This program is provided to you, our viewing audience, to bring you information about the Troup County School System, our accomplishments, our programs, our students, and our staff. And joining me in the studio today is Ms. Deborah Brock, and she is the principal of Mountville Elementary School. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me. Good morning. How are you?
We are so excited to have you here.
Glad to be here.
Well, I know I speak on behalf of our viewing audience when we say we cannot wait to learn about all of the wonderful things.
Well, I can't wait to share all the wonderful things
happening on your campus. But before we dive into that, please just share with us about your educational background and career here in Troup County.
Sure. Actually, I moved here 22 years ago from Albany, Georgia, and began my career here at Hollis Hand Elementary School. Began teaching second grade there for 5 years, and then taught fourth grade at Hollis Hand for another 5 years, and then was an instructional specialist there for 10 years. So for a total of 22 years right here in LaGrange.
Okay, and tell me, how did you become a principal? Is this something that you always wanted to pursue?
I did always want to do some type of job in leadership capacity where it dealt with education. And as I just shared, I was the IS at Hollis Hand, enjoyed that experience, loved training the teachers, professional development, but I was granted the opportunity and fortunate enough to be appointed the principal at Mountville Elementary School beginning last year. And so I might say that it's been an awesome opportunity and a great transition.
And I'm sure you have wonderful students out there and a great staff. Yes.
Absolutely.
So tell us, how many staff support the operations?
We have a total of 55 on staff. Lindsay Barnes is our instructional specialist. We have 32 teachers, which include our media specialist, our counselor, halftime music and art, and we also have 19 support staff.
Okay, tell me about student enrollment. How many students are enrolled?
We are right at approximately 416 students, and we've had a lot of growth in the last 3 years. In 2010 to now, we've gone from about 255 students to 416. And that growth was made possible through the merger of Cannon Street and Mountville Elementary School, as well as this school year, the rezoning of Callaway students. So we've grown, and we're one big happy family at Mountville.
Good, and I'm sure that just by my visiting your schools, I can see that your staff works really hard to make sure that that transition.
Oh yes, we did.
Was
yes,
smooth
put a lot of
students.
things in place so that we would welcome our new students and staff.
Okay, so tell us now about your school's mission. What is your school's mission?
Our school's mission is to partner with home and community to educate and partner with community to make lifelong learners. And basically, in short, that means that we are trying to prepare our students for the real world.
And that's important.
Exactly.
Because we know that they need skill sets
exactly.
to take them into the future where technology is
Absolutely.
mainstream, and now there's a focus on energy and STEM.
Exactly,
and
technology and whatnot. So yes, very important.
So what steps are you taking to accomplish your mission?
Well, foremost, our focus is obviously on education and student achievement, and we're glad to say that despite all of our changes in the last 3 years, we've been able to do just that. We were have been recently recognized as Progress High Reward School by the Georgia Department of Education. So we're very proud of that accomplishment. We also are recognized as well as a Title I Distinguished School. And again, very proud of that accomplishment in the last 3 years with 2 new administrators, new students, and new staff. I think that's a great accomplishment.
That is.
Despite of.
That's a major accomplishment. And what does it take do you know the criteria and can share that to become a Title I Distinguished
You
School?
have to have substantial progress, the culmination of 3 years with students that they look at our state test, which is the CRCT, and they look at the scores of those tests to see how much students have progressed in that 3 years. And in the 3 years, as they've looked at our scores and our student body, our population has continued to progress despite, like I said, our changes at Mountville.
Okay. Now, what other steps are you taking to achieve your school's mission?
Well, we like to provide a well-rounded and balanced, where our focus obviously is on academic achievement. We also like to create a balance, and so we offer other programs at our schools, such as our Volunteers Inspiring Progress, better known as our VIP program, our Mighty Mountain Lions Character Development Program, our Media Technology Program, 4-H, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, Birthday Club, our Blue Ice Bodacious Behavior, better known as Bib Bash, just to name a few.
Okay, so these students have more than enough opportunity to participate in various programs, but not only that, some of them are geared to recognize positive behavior. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Would you elaborate on more of those programs?
Well, one of them is our Volunteers Inspiring Progress. We're very proud of that program. We initiated that program last school year, and basically that is when we have volunteers that come in, and it's based on individuals coming in to volunteer to provide tutorial and mentoring opportunities for our students. They come in and they bring a volunteer bag, and in their bag everything is prepared for them. There is everything they need to work with that student. They come in 1 to 2 times a week, and they work 30 minutes with their students. Everything they need is in their little bag, and it's just a great opportunity to link right to our school's mission, which is to partner with home and community. So we have parents that come in and volunteer. We also have community folks that come in as well.
Okay, now you mentioned that there are bags prepared.
There are.
Who prepares the materials for tutoring?
Our instructional specialist prepares that, and I actually brought one. Didn't bring it on site today, but I was going to show it to y'all. But it's just a little bag. We keep that in our activities lab, so the volunteers come right into that room. On their little bag is a card with the student's name and exactly what they're working on. They pick up their bag, and they go right to their student, and they come back to the activities lab and work on those specific things. It's usually things in the bag that support exactly what the teacher is working on in class, just to support the teacher as well.
Okay, now tell me, I think you mentioned the Mighty Mountain Lions.
Mighty Mountain Lions.
Okay.
That is our character development program. Okay. And just the FYI, Mountain Lions is our mascot. The Mountain Lion is our mascot. So we call our students that are inducted into this program the Mighty Mountain Lions. And that is a focus on leadership, service. These are students that are inducted, that are selected by their teachers for just exhibiting positive character. They also run different things in our school store. They help with the broadcast. They put up the flag. So they just have responsibilities around the school. They also do several service projects, Pennies for Patients, Relay for Life, to name a couple of those.
Okay, and what age group?
These are our 4th and 5th graders.
Oh, okay.
4th and 5th grade.
Okay. Now, you also have, and I'm just curious to hear about this one, the Blue Ice Bodacious Behavior Bash.
Yes, that's a mouthful, isn't it? It is.
It is.
So we say Bib Bash.
The Bib Bash. Okay.
And that is a focus on behavior, good behavior. We also practice at Mountville 8 Keys of Excellence, which focuses on integrity, doing the right thing when no one's looking, and several other things. And so Blue Ice is a celebration at the end of each month for those students who have exhibited positive behavior. So we have Blue Ice at the end of each month, and if they're recognized by their class and their teachers, they all have stamp cards, they get punched, and they get to participate in a Blue Ice celebration for their behavior at the end of each month.
Okay, now you mentioned the Technology and Media Club.
Yes.
So I would be interested in hearing what
that's
those
one of the favorites
do
for our students. Media and technology, it uses technology to provide different opportunities for students to video things throughout the year, or to actually do displays of different things using different mediums of technology. We also do a live broadcast every morning to our students to share the happenings of the day and upcoming events. So we have students that actually help with the cameras with that. They actually do the broadcast and share the news, the weather. They share the lunch menu for the day, the thought of the day. They focus on our 8 Keys of Excellence. And we sort of have an opening tradition each morning. We close with a Mountville pledge that the whole student body says together, and then we end the morning with our spirit song, just to get our morning started off right.
And what is, I've heard you all sing the spirit song. What is the
please
title?
Don't ask me to sing the song.
I wouldn't do that to you today. But what is the title of the spirit song?
It's just the MES spirit song.
Okay.
MES spirit song. And then we say our pledge first, and then we sing our song. And the pledge just sort of focuses on our mission and what we expect of our students, and it just sort of they sort of make a pledge for the day to do the right thing, basically. And so we all hold our right hands up and we say the pledge together and then end with our spirit song.
And what do you find, how does this translate at home with parents? Do they come
back? Well, a lot of
saying,
times our parents are surprised that our little ones come home and they're telling them what integrity means, those big words. Again, you know, that's a big focus at our school, just to show integrity and do the right thing when no one's looking. And again, that's one of our 8 keys of excellence. And so they're impressed. And we have signs that go with each of our keys: integrity, failure leads to success, ownership, taking responsibility. So they're impressed that they know those big words, so to speak. You have a kindergarten quoting to them what integrity means, but that's something we do every day live on our broadcast.
Good, good. Okay. And you mentioned before about having partners come into the school, whether it's in a volunteer role or just supporting the goals of the school. And recently there was an initiative called Blessings in a Backpack.
Absolutely.
And when we talked about it briefly before this program, I just thought it was amazing, and I definitely want you to share that with our viewers.
That's a great opportunity. Actually, First United Methodist Church, 2 members of their youth group reached out to us and wanted to partner with us. Annabeth Ivy and Jennifer Oxenconnect, with the support of Becky Ivy, touched base with us and wanted to partner with our school and do a program called Blessings in a Backpack, which is basically a program that supports students that are on free or reduced lunch plans. They provide Blessings in a Backpack, which includes a little bag of easy to prepare food like ramen noodles, macaroni and cheese, crackers, juice boxes for them to take home each Friday home in their book bag. And so we discreetly, between our family assistants and our counselors, we select students that we think would benefit from the program, and on every Friday for 38 weeks we send home blessings in a backpack for them. So that's been an outreach program from First United Methodist, so we're so glad that they touched base with us. We started out small. We've done two Fridays already. We did it right before the Christmas holiday, and then we did it right before we got out for the MLK break. So we're starting out small, but it's been a great opportunity and well received. Well received.
Okay, and that was going to be another question. How do the families receive these blessings in a backpack? Are
very,
you
very grateful, very grateful. We again tried to, like I said, our mission is to reach out and to partnership with home and community, and that's one of our outreach programs, and our parents are very appreciative. Before we even did Blessings in the Backpack, we have churches that donate just canned goods and different things to have on stock. So we have sort of, so to speak, our own little pantry, so to speak, as parents have needs. So this just added to the blessing, so to speak.
Oh, so there is a pantry. Does the pantry have a name? So
it doesn't have a name. And really the pantry is file cabinets. We just put canned goods in, but we just reach in when we have needs for families, and we can just go right to our pantry, so to speak, of items. And we're appreciative to churches who have donated items for that purpose.
And if you had to give a message to your partners and other businesses about becoming involved in schools and why it's important, why it's essential, what would you say to those partners?
That we can always use volunteers. It's so important to sort of bridge community and home and school, so that we see, that children see the support of others in the community in our schools, volunteering, supporting. We have great support of community base. We have Walmart Distribution, that's one of our partners. We have Taylor Mahan Funeral Home that does various stuff for us throughout the year. So I think it just bridges and speaks exactly to our mission, partnering with home and community to bring the community in to do different things at our school.
And do you find that the partners feel rewarded?
Oh, absolutely.
It's a reward, it's a benefit for them to become involved.
Yeah, they come in and they say, if you need anything else, we'll be glad to do this. We had Caterpillar who donated right around October, 2 racks of coats. That was their, exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. So,
That's
I mean,
amazing.
It's, again, another blessing.
So they are our partners and our community members. They're out there supporting
exactly.
the schools
they are.
And the kids and
exactly.
the teachers. And what do the teachers say about partnership involvement? And then we'll segue into parental involvement.
Okay. The teachers are very on board with what we're doing. They are excited to have community come in and help us do different things. The volunteer program, our VIP, Volunteers Inspiring Progress, was a big plus for our teachers. Anything that can support them in the classroom, they welcome. So they too are very appreciative of community coming in and parents coming in and help volunteering.
Now, how can parents become involved, and just more particularly at Mountville, but in education? What would you say?
Well, I think part of it is us communicating to parents and letting them know how they can be involved. We just partnered with Callaway Elementary School in Hogansville, and we had a math night together. Our math standards have changed substantially, so we wanted to show parents, and our parents were struggling a little bit with those changes, so we actually had a math night where the parents came in and sat in the classrooms as if they were the students and were taught some of the new math strategies. And so, you know, not only were we partnering with other schools, our zone schools, we brought parents in and sort of taught them what their students were learning, and it was very well received from our parents and appreciated. And we had parents saying, "Oh my gosh, you should do this every 9 weeks," because it was so insightful to them to sort of sit in the eyes of their students.
And we know that those standards and criteria, it's always
have become
changing.
more rigorous, exactly.
And more rigorous.
Exactly.
Okay, so you have upcoming activities and events taking place at the school. And
we do.
Would you please share
Sure.
information?
We have every grade level at some point in the school year does a grade level program. Our first graders will be doing Billy Goat's Gruff February 28th, and that's in support of their reading standard retelling story. So we try to link whatever grade level program they do to a standard or something that they're studying in class as well. We also have our Mighty Mountain Lions, our character program, kicking off their Pennies for Patients service program in February as well. February 28th is the kickoff date. We have Columbus Theater coming to perform Diary of a Worm, and that will be in March, and that is made possible, actually, to all our Troup County elementary schools and made possible through the Callaway Foundation. It's a donation for them. So we're excited about bringing the arts right into it. There's another community outreach, bringing that right to our building. And of course, our volunteer program is going on all the time, so we'd love for folks to come in and call and get more information about volunteering.
Okay, and before you give your information, your contact information, I have just a couple of more questions about how and what criteria might be in place for volunteers.
Well, when you come in, you ask to speak to our counselor, and you do have to go through a procedure. We give you some information, and you do have to have a background check, because we obviously want to be safe as we're bringing people in to work with our children. And so they do have to do a background check, and we send that information in to the Sheriff's Department for a check. And then after that, we do a little orientation with you about our schedule, just the different things about how our building runs. And then we get you all set up with your volunteer bag, and we introduce you to your student and to the teacher, so that you sort of have a link, know what who the teacher is, and communication with that teacher. And then they pick up their little bag and their student, and they're ready to go.
And that's always good to know, because sometimes people feel like, I don't know what I can contribute, and how much time will this take away?
We make it very easy. Like I said, everything that is needed is in that bag. The child's name is on a little label on the bag. You know what classroom it is. Inside the bag is everything. Could be as simple as reviewing sight words. Could be math facts. So it's not anything you have to bring in and plan for. Everything you need is in that bag already.
So you make it convenient?
Make it convenient, absolutely.
Very convenient.
Absolutely. If they're given that time, that's the least we can do, is make it convenient for them.
And what are the requirements time-wise? Is it all year long? Is it?
That's flexible. Typically, our volunteers come in and they do 1 to 2 days a week for an hour, and they're usually assigned 2 students. And so they come in on the Monday, they pull those students for 30 minutes apiece. So it just sort of is flexible.
Good, good.
Yes,
and do you find that you have involvement with the faith-based community as it relates to volunteers?
Oh, yes.
Or is it more from business and industry?
Both. I think it's about equal. We have parents, faith-based, and community folks. So I think it's about equal.
Okay.
But we could always use more.
Yes, I'm sure. And you mentioned that the children participate in service clubs and they undertake service projects. Could you elaborate more on those service projects?
Well, it's usually spearheaded again by our Mighty Mountain Lions via the support of our counselor. And again, Relay for Life, Pennies for Patients are some of the service projects we do, and we'll be, like I said, kicking off Pennies for Patients in February. We also, like last year, for example, we did Relay for Life, and we actually painted ceiling tiles to raise money. So when you enter our lobby, you'll see ceiling tiles that are painted in our school colors that have those students' names on them in the ceiling. So it not only adds a decorative little make homey feel as you walk into our lobby, but it also contributed to a very good cause, Relay for Life. So again, you know, while we our focus is academics and achievement, we try to balance that with other things in support of service as well.
And why is it important to teach civic responsibility?
Well, I think because that's the real world. Like we said, that's part of our mission. Again, it goes right back to partnering with home and community and equipping our students to be lifelong learners, and that's part of being a lifelong learner. Service, not only education, but the balance of the importance of service, leadership, all the things that we try. So again, we try to balance all that and create memories. We want them to look back at elementary and school and say, I remember when we did this. So again, we try to create a balance there and make it well-rounded for our students.
And I think the idea you mentioned earlier that each of the three schools, Hogansville Elementary, Callaway Elementary, and of course your school, you came together with the idea of creating a workshop for parents.
Exactly.
Tell us about the turnout. Did you have the parental involvement you were
we were
hoping
pleasantly
for?
surprised.
Yeah.
We had the turnout. I think after that first one, it would probably grow now that parents have come and realized how awesome it was. We had dinner, actually. We provided dinner for families. We had a hot dog supper. They came in and ate first. It was sort of a game night theme, and so it was like a sports thing. They came in and ate dinner. We had door prizes, and then they rotated. They could sort of pick what rotations they wanted to go to. So you had a buzz in the hall when it was time to change classes, and they were talking about, I want to go to division, I want to go to multiplication. And so again, at the very end of that, I think the parents walked away with knowledge of really knowing what their children are learning in school, and being able to go home and support and help them as well. We even talked about, as a zone, doing that together for not just math nights, but reading nights and math night. Those were some of the comments we got from parents. So again, it was a very good partnership to do that as a zone, but more importantly, reaching out to parents and supporting them and their students indirectly.
And where
as well.
was it held again?
It was held at Mountville.
Oh,
so we'll probably, if we do that, and then we'll rotate. And so next time it might be at Hogansville, it might be at Callaway. So it was great experience. Had lots of fun.
Good, good. Well, I appreciate you sharing all of this information and for taking time out of your busy schedule away from the children and your staff. And thank you for doing such a great job at Mountville Elementary School.
Thank you for having us. Thank you
and again, thank you for joining us. To our viewers, we appreciate you tuning in today to Spotlight on Education. And until next time, thank you for watching and have a great day.